Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Good Guy Show. I'm Tony, he's Jeremy, and we're here for another hour of mild entertainment.
It doesn't work as well as
On
when
TV.
we're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think we gotta change that up.
We'll work on it. We'll see what happens.
Welcome to the Why Not Night podcast, where we discuss art.
No, seriously. So yeah, good to be back.
Is it?
Second episode, second live.
Second TV episode, televised episode,
Check out our YouTube. YouTube's gonna be coming up soon.
eventually.
And if you haven't noticed, I am show number 2 in the overalls
Again.
And are you,
Were you
Joel? Are you
working?
sure my face is not red, bro? I swear. Okay, we're gonna be. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be good.
You're all worked up already. Look at you.
You know, dude. So I've been I just had 2 of my bestest friends from high school. They came to Don't Hit the Table. Remember when they said that?
Yeah, don't hit the table.
They came from Vancouver, the Vancouver area, actually Centennial High School in Coquitlam, British Columbia.
Okay.
Which in the native tongue means, I think it's like something like Rotting Fish River.
Rotting Fish River. What, it must be an elegant place.
Well, you know, like that's where the salmon spawn, right? So it'd stink, right? So, anyways, so they came, and so I just had a week with them, sort of, but I continued to work. I've got a big project right now at the Crowfoot in Pontiac.
Which you're devoting a lot of time to.
A lot of time. So Rivers Edge Gallery, we framed up a bunch of the show posters. They have done, the Crowfoot has been around for a long time.
Yes.
They were initially a Grosjean family. Didn't first live in Grosjean, but started off just doing some really outstanding stuff. St. Andrew's Hall, amongst other, I've heard stories about them picking up the Beastie Boys in like a white van from the airport, like with the actual buckets in the back because it's a cargo van stuff. And they've had Soundgarden. They've put on Soundgarden. They've done the Killers. They were instrumental in getting the Masonic Temple kind of going again. So Crowfoot. Check out the Crowfoot. Crowfoot.com. Crowfoot Presents. They're really good people. And you know how I don't know if you know this, Tony.
Yes.
But you know how that whole scene's kind of garbage people.
The music scene?
Yeah, well, or like arts, like
just
anything, promotion stuff.
Lots of promoters.
Yeah.
In general,
movie business
get a rap for being scummy people.
Yeah, shysters.
And it's not without some relevance.
Right.
Because a lot of those people are scummy.
Right.
Having dealt with a lot of them, but having dealt with the Crowfoot, they're
tremendous good people. I mean, just and they're just a good bunch of kids over there, and I'm just happy to be part of it. And Rivers Edge Gallery, downtown Wyandotte, ladies and gentlemen. This one is that the one I look at? This one. Camera 2. Camera 1.
There you go. No, you just had it. There you go.
Hey, look at you. Looking good, Wyandotte, huh? Okay. Camera, okay. So it's just been really super busy, and every time I talk, you don't have to friggin' go on just my face, you could Tony's, you gotta see Tony's reaction.
Nobody wants to see my reaction.
Listen, before the show, I brought up I'm gonna call him our producer Joel, director Joel.
Our producer, yeah.
Guy's got broken glasses forever. Why won't this guy get his glasses fixed, dude? It's like, he's a good, hardworking young man, great family man, responsible. But I've known this guy for Joel, how long have I known you for, man?
8-9 years.
I think 7 of those years, dudes had broken glasses. I swear to you. Wyandotte, from me to you, if we could just
we
figure
should
out,
start a GoFundMe page.
we
to
should start a
fix Joel's-
GoFundMe page
Joel's
for
glasses.
Joel's. If you're at City Hall, come on down to City Hall. Check out Joel. Guy needs some glasses. We'd love to be a part of that. Help us help you be gooder. So what? Yeah, what have you been up to? You've been doing some stuff.
No, I haven't been doing as much as you think.
Well,
I actually today I actually went and hung out with a buddy and did some drawing.
Ooh.
I know it's very infrequently that I do draw, but
Okay.
I did a sketch today.
Well, you are in
Trying to get the
art
spark
fair.
back. I am. Yeah. I'm registered for art fair.
Okay.
I've been accepted.
Okay.
I'm still like on the fence whether or not I'm going to do
Listen,
it.
if you want to see Tony's artwork at the art fair, he'll be just not too far from River's Edge Gallery, which is downtown Wyandotte. Go see the man. If this man is not in the art fair, send me a direct message. You can DM me, and I will give you his address, and you could go to his house and give him a what for. That's positive. That's what friends do, ladies and gentlemen. Friends do help each other out. So yeah. So what have you been drawing?
Just some superhero sketches. Just trying to get the comic book chops flowing again. You know,
You know what I've noticed
comic book
about
juices.
superhero sketches, Tony?
What's that?
Like, they're all like not animatronically. Yeah, they're like correct. Like they never.
they're supposed to be.
Well, sure.
It all depends on the artist and their style.
Sure.
But anatomy should be, paramount in drawing a superhero. Because it's kind of the big thing is, they're supposed to look super heroic, so the anatomy should be right.
Just big dongs. Big superhero. Well, you listen. I guess they've got to be representational throughout the whole thing, for all the big dongs and all the small dongs in the world.
Where are you seeing poor anatomy in your superheroes?
I'm just thinking. All I know is that for some reason they're always in tight clothing. I know they've got to do a lot of jumping around and jumping out of planes and things like that. You gotta like be nice and tight. Can you imagine if all militaries based their uniforms
On comic book characters?
on comic book uniforms? Can you screw this baggy camo stuff? You get
we want latex
you get
and lycra
latex, some sort of underwear, different color underwear looking thing
on the
with,
outside of your pants.
wrestler looking boots, and go get them, boys. That's shut up, military.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I mean, it's something to think about. Listen. If Hugo Boss, I think some people have forgotten that Hugo Boss played an important role in the German Nazis in their fashion. So
Is that true?
I believe it's. Can we get a
Make sure the disclaimer is rolling on
get
this.
that disclaimer? I'm pretty sure it's someone. Is it Hugo Boss? Listen.
Oh, we're at the halfway point yet.
We are probably Wyandatte's most important arts podcast.
Yeah.
Done by two guys who aren't from here.
Who aren't from here, right?
That's right. Who I'm just gonna say who made, and let's be honest, there's gonna be probably some people that are yelling who know the answer to this,
We're yelling at their TVs.
wearing proudly their. Anyways,
who are up at 2:00 in the morning watching this garbage.
what? Yeah, how often does this? Hey, Joel, how often does this run? Twice a day.
Twice a day.
We got Chucky over here. Guy's been vaccinated. Good for you, bro. Way to. Who made the Nazi uniforms? Hugo Boss Company. Ba-ba-ba! We did it. I did it. I said something,
And you got it right.
It was correct. So
Look at that.
yeah, but also Mercedes and all that stuff. There's a lot of dirty history. So
A lot of dirty history all over
a
the
lot
world.
of dirty history. So speaking of dirty history,
Yes.
I guess we'll do the. Do you know much about Tiffany Glass?
I don't know much about it, but I know where you're going with it.
Okay. Can we pull up that the beautiful piece right there, if you could, the image I sent you there, Joel, of the glass, if you don't mind, please. Thank you so much. Can you imagine he does all this amazing work with broken glasses? Okay, so Tiffany glass history here. This is we are not sponsored by any major phone companies. However, should any major phone companies want to sponsor us?
Is this the article, the ArtNet News?
I believe the one you sent me. You can pull that one up, but I will pull up the history. For those who don't know, Tiffany Glass is sort of a really revered glass company. But they're actually, Louis Comfort. It's actually probably Louis Comfort, but it's literally, in my, as far as I know, Louis Comfort Tiffany. The Tiffany studios, they were in New York City. And, Clara Driscoll and Agnes Northrop and Frederick Wilson, they're all designers. So in 1865, Tiffany traveled to Europe and London, and he visited the Victoria and Albert Museum, whose extensive collection of Roman and Syrian glass made a deep impression on him. So, that you've seen all sorts of beautiful Tiffany, the Tiffany lamps, the sawed-out. You've been to a Pizza Hut, you've seen the beautiful
stained glass.
Faux
stained.
Remember that was such a big thing, that sort of that faux Tiffany. Well, it's all based off Tiffany, that stained glass lamps and things like that. So and I think also Tiffany, Tiffany's also, is that the same one that did the eggs and the
no, that was Fabergé did the eggs.
Fabergé. What about the blue box with that every
the
girl
jewelry,
with
the Tiffany jewelry,
yeah, Tiffany jewelry, breakfast at Tiffany's. Shout out Audrey Hepburn. Oh, what a dream right there, eh?
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so let's
God help us.
So
where are we going today?
Listen, man. We probably have one of the most exciting, thrilling art podcast shows one has ever seen.
Why don't we just spend an hour talking about how important this podcast is?
It's true. Listen, I don't know if you know this, but eventually we're all gonna die. So let's just have the best of it, okay? Just remember that, folks at home. Okay, so to bring it back now, so this gentleman. I believe, what city was this now?
It was in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. And he is he's a collector. He's an antiques dealer collector. 56 years old.
Paul Brown, his name is.
Oh, Mr. Brown. Give me a shout out, Mr. Brown. And this guy was just where was he getting this stuff, Tony?
Well, they were going to demolish a church.
Okay.
They were renovating this historical church, and they were literally about to launch a wrecking ball through these windows.
Okay.
And he stopped them and offered to buy the windows, and he wound up paying $6,000 for these stained glass windows.
The name for these style of windows is Favril.
Okay.
So, there you go. That's the color. That's the texture and the color. Favril.
So he salvaged two. It says rose windows.
Oh. So rose windows being like the windows that are at the Notre Dame in Paris. Or something.
Okay.
At historical. I believe there's some churches in New York and stuff like that too. I think even.
I mean, wherever there are really old churches, you're going to find windows like
this. I believe is more of a yes.
So he wound up removing these windows from the church.
Okay.
And after extracting them and cleaning them, he put about $50,000 into them.
Okay. So man knows his windows.
And it turned out they were Tiffany windows.
Turns out.
And they're going to wind up going for,
I think $500,000?
$500,000 each, I think. at auction. But they came from a 1901 building. It was built in 1901, so these windows were old.
So the guy's, putting it together, boxing it up, probably making it so it's transportable, investing in probably, redoing the. I think you use a type of lead, in when you use stained glass.
Yeah, they usually use lead. Yeah,
and so the guy invested a bit of money, thinking, these are pretty. Maybe he'll keep one, maybe he'll sell the other. Probably, what do you think? 50,000. Maybe you think he's going to make 150,000.
Yeah, they're expected to fetch between $150 and $250 each when they hit the auction block on May
150,000.
May 18th. So it's tomorrow.
150,000 to 200,000.
Yeah, $250,000 each. Yeah, and I bet they go for more.
Yeah, probably. But especially that Art News is posted. Do you know? I think they take like these auction houses. Not only so, like how usually you'll sell something. I'm an auction professional, so I think I know what I'm talking about. That's I just I think we need like some sort of disclaimer every time I talk. I think
just leave it
underneath,
leave it running permanently
underneath. Like as soon as my face pops up, it should just be like where's the below, like there, like
it
right
should
here.
Be a floating asterisk.
There, see where right there.
Yeah, just it hovers over our heads
like a bouncing ball. Every time I say a word, no, but I don't know where I was going with that. All I know is that typically auction houses do take a commission above the price.
Oh yeah. Well, they from what I understand is they take a commission off of the sell price.
Not in the art world.
No, not in the art world?
No, dude.
Because I know that the buyer pays a fee on top of whatever the final price is.
Right. So, yeah. Well, I mean, listen.
But I thought they also took a commission off of the sale from the seller.
Right. They're like, listen, if you're trying
to
wash your money.
So they got paid on both ends.
If you're trying to wash your money, you're going to pay us a little something. Yeah. Well, have you ever been to Navy Pier, Chicago Navy Pier?
Years and years
ago.
They
have a beautiful stained glass commission, beautiful stained glass
window
exhibition, sort of in the Navy Pier. It's really quite lovely through the history of stained glass, and they've really done some really cool. That's no easy business. So well, there you go, folks. Go out there. Look for churches that are being broken down and bulldozed, and go get yourself a pew, a piece of glass, something. Don't cut yourself. Don't do anything illegal, and just say some old stuff, right?
So yeah, you might be investing in a fortune there.
I know, seriously. Have you noticed the popularity of old stuff? It seems like old stuff or refurbished stuff is coming back.
I think it has to do with the fact that older stuff is just made better.
Totally, dude. Yeah.
It lasts.
Mm-hmm. But it's wild. Like it's like back in the day, it was like a sheer joy to pack the family up and go to IKEA and you get yourself some Danish. But even back in the day, IKEA stuff, like my family still had like the IKEA they bought in the 80s, it's like that was like that, just that well built, it was really Swedish for common sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
we just brought back from my dad's house a dresser for my son to use in his new apartment that we've used in our family since before I was born, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, this stuff, it just lasts. Used to last forever.
Back in the day, that was like a cheesy move. And now it's like, well, what you're gonna get this fake board paper stuff like that.
So it's that particle board stuff, press board.
Yeah, but
it's garbage.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna spend a lot of money for garbage, or you're gonna get a loan out for something that's gonna last you forever.
Yeah.
So that's why you gotta support local. But and there's lots of artisans that are actually doing refurbishing furniture and things like that, old stained glass. But think it's wild too that it seems to go in waves. This kind of action, But why did just had their why did just had their garage sale
Last weekend, yeah.
thingamajig? You send us an email if you've refurbished something, and you're trying to you want to show off your refurbished stuff. Send us an email or send us a thingamajig or message us.
Thingamajig.
I don't know.
Especially send us a thingamajig.
I especially want the thingamajigs coming in strong. No, but listen. We're in Wyandotte. We're a community-based thingamajig, and we'll share the stuff.
We want to show off
Yeah.
what you have done, refurbishing older stuff.
We'll share, and if it's for sale, put a little thing in there, and we're not selling it, but whatever. Let's make the
So the good guy swap meet. Why
Good
not?
idea, probably on air, yeah. No, but I think that there's there's a lot of talented people in this area, and I think more people need to know about the talents that's are happening. What's going on over there? I'm hearing laughs from Chucky over here. Chucky, what's so funny, Chucky? What's going on, Chucky? What's happening?
I think the gooder guys do swap.
Good call. Good call. Okay.
Oh God.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, with that one.
That was a good one. Too bad we didn't have the speaker for that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be getting the speakers soon. They're gonna be able to chime in. It's gonna be great. And also, I guess the beginning of the show too, talking about how busy life's been.
Yeah.
I guess I want to apologize to the crew and to the viewer at home for the lack of organization
And preparation.
and preparation on this one. This is, if you can't tell, by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We are only slightly less prepared
Right.
than last time.
Yeah. I think, and also if you think we need makeup, if you'd like to do our makeup before the show, go ahead.
Because Jeremy's face is red.
I'm feeling yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So congratulations, Mr. Brown,
On your epic
on
score.
your epic score. Go up there, and that's it. Go up there, take a chance. Find something old and refurbish it. You never know. But also, don't be upset if you find something that's old, and it's not worth anything. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Old-
not everything old is
Not
valuable.
always.
Some old stuff is just crap.
It's gotta have a little provenance to it. It's gotta where it come from, the history, how well it's made. They still had factories.
Even if it's old and well made and in good condition, doesn't make it valuable.
but
It still could be garbage.
still could be garbage, but made better than
Sure. I mean, everything has value to somebody.
Sure.
But it's not going to make you rich.
Another man's trash is someone else's.
One man's trash
too.
is another man's trash.
Trash with painted trash.
Trash with a purpose.
Yeah, and that's why I think that we just need to eradicate money altogether and just start trading dressers and drawers.
Speaking of trash,
Oh, here we go.
we recently completed watching MTV's The Exhibit.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, MTV had a reality show called The Exhibit, where they took, was it 8 artists?
It was eight, I believe, 8 artists. Yep.
And they put them together, and they did, each week they would do a different art
A commission.
commission.
It was 6
Yeah.
or 8 hours, and they did different.
And
commission.
I tried getting images of the artwork that was created, and I couldn't find images of the artwork. I found images of the artists, but really, who cares?
And for the older listeners who do remember MTV as a music television,
Yes,
where
they
the
used to
videos-
show music videos.
And for those who are about our age, remember it as a show that talked about pregnant young women, single and also I think there was also attractive people in living in communal situations with tasks,
Right, real world, yeah.
real world and stuff like that.
I saw like a meme, I guess it's called.
Okay.
And it said
A meme, I
40
guess it's
years
called.
40 years of MTV, thank you for 15 years of music.
Ah, it's true, man. And what and it's so funny because you see these the young folks wearing the have you seen the MTV t-shirts?
No.
The popular, I believe you can purchase them at one of the non-reputable stores. But yeah, they've got it's all that 80s stuff's coming back, man. It's pretty wild. A lot of careers, a lot of VJs, video jockeys.
All those old VJs are now on like Sirius XM doing the old 80s channels and stuff.
Oh,
So anyway, the MTV show pretty much was just successful in pointing out how just crappy the art world is.
well, and first of all, they chose out of the artists they chose like qualified artists that are doing pretty okay.
Yeah, they were doing okay for themselves.
You know.
Not anybody who was a struggling unknown.
Well, they got
and with the chance of getting a big break.
well, the winner had a
the winner had already had a big show in
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
Mu-
Yeah,
Brooklyn
Brooklyn Museum of Art.
And then the guy who drove a Subaru, I don't know why I remember that test. I just
See the winner. Let me look at this. Her name was
Khan,
Bashira
last name
Khan.
Khan, yeah, last name Khan. There's two
And
Khans.
she was a very well established artist.
Is this Bashira also from Jungle Book? Can we get a check on that, please? I don't know. They're not doing it.
Bagheera.
Bagheera.
Bagheera is from
I
Jungle
like
Book.
Bashira, but yeah. She was her. A lot of the work was avant-garde and cool, but yeah, it was just super wild. It was wild to see. Do I recommend check it out if you want to check it out?
I mean, if you're into the arts,
If you're into art,
it was kind of interesting to see some of the stuff that they made. There was one guy who did printmaking,
yes,
and his stuff was really cool.
very good. But he's been on like covers of like art magazines, and he's had multiple shows.
Yeah, I mean, all
and-
these people were pretty established, had pretty established art careers. It wasn't like MTV was trying to break new ground and give an opportunity to an unknown.
except for that Jennifer lady,
the one who was
from
the
Chicago.
self-made, the self-taught
Self-taught,
artist.
Yeah, she was like one of my favorites, but
She was the one doing the
the storyteller with the hearse and
the Hearst. Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the underground and stuff.
yeah.
But
She was good. I liked her painting
yeah,
style.
well, I enjoyed all the artwork. I enjoyed the one that you probably didn't like, the one that
The sculptist.
the sculptist.
I did not like her stuff at all. I
Yeah.
found it to be silly.
That's why I liked it. It's like, man, it's like you gotta. It's a thing, man. Beauty's super important, and sometimes I think that.
I thought her stuff was just a mess.
Well, yeah, but it's like I think that it was really just more conceptual. Like I think that the one guy said that the one art critic person dude said how she was like a conceptual artist that really didn't want to put the work in. So like that's the deal with being a conceptual artist. It's like sometimes it's really the concept, the environment you create or the experience that you create for the viewer.
But you're
or
the only one you're creating an experience for when you're making a piece of art is yourself, unless you're filming the process.
Yeah, but that's not.
I mean,
not the intention. If you've ever tried to make like a, like I've done my own. The last show that I did, my solo show, Only Human. It's weird to talk about yourself, but I created this hut that was based off of those Tibetan huts.
that was something though that people can go and interact with.
What?
Oh, when we're at the
We have
halfway
to-
point.
Halfway point.
We
That-
made it. We
That's
made it halfway through.
that's your half point decision. That's what that's what you guys decided. Did the viewers at home get to hear the wee woo? We gotta work on your wee woos.
But when you did that at your art installation,
right,
you had that hut that you built.
right,
That was something that people could go and interact with.
right.
By creating a crappy sculpture, how is somebody going to have an experience with that other than just looking at it?
Well, I mean,
They're not part of the process.
No, that was you
They're
could
not
climb it.
interacting
You
with-
could.
There was that one. That was that one thing that she
No,
made.
the ones that she makes are for climbing and for.
The one she made for the selfies.
Yeah, but she also, if you go to her website, she does sell them as that as well.
I'm not talking about her website. I'm talking about what they showed on television.
Oh, the other
And
stuff
a lot
too.
of her stuff was garbage.
Well, the other stuff was like, it was like things that were growing too. She introduced fungus, and it was like it's kind of an experiential. It was something that really wasn't just right there and then. It was things were going to grow on it, or the environments were going to sort of take it over. So it
So
wasn't.
essentially, she made landfill.
Yeah, I mean, there's listen. Maybe we need to investigate our landfills a little more. Try to say.
It's just my whole observation of a lot of art in that vein is that it's more about the poor attitude of the artist than it is about what they create.
Well, I think comic book artists need to represent more clear, concise dogs.
Don't get me wrong. There are comic book artists who take themselves way too seriously.
Right.
They're drawing comic books. They're
Right.
making a commodity art. They're not making fine art. It's completely different animal.
Well,
And some
right.
of them talk about themselves like they're, the great masters and should be mentioned in the name with Picasso and
That's funny.
Rembrandt and
That's Well, listen, man. In all like seriousness, I don't know how to do that. No, everything's just overly serious. Like, what's gonna happen now? We're gonna have a mural in Wyandotte, right? And I think
has it been finalized? It was voted on
the
and
DA is
accepted.
paying
And
for it. It's done by Fell 3000. It's going to be a phenomenal piece. It's going to be in a really cool area wall, just oaken first. It's going to be so cool to see. It's going to be the first real mural that everyone's sort of like that have gone through the proper channels that are going to be going. That's going to be happening. It's going to be super cool. But obviously, what's going to happen? People are going to be like, I don't like that, this and that. Now, you know who you are, by the way.
there's going to be people complain about everything. There's
Yeah.
going to be people who are going to complain that they didn't get input on it, and this
Sure.
is part of our community, and why weren't we?
Right.
We weren't consulted on this, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You know what, people?
Uh-oh.
Mind your own freaking business sometimes.
But also as a tax-
Everybody doesn't need a say in everything. Too many cooks spoil the soup.
Right, but also what I would like to add is this is one mural, and if Wyandottes going to be known as a creative town, where cool stuff's happening and everyone wants to say, "Oh, we're so artsy and creative," are we artsy? Are we?
Art's not made by committee.
Art's, and you've got to allow the good and the bad, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but just the fact that it's happening should be encouraged. And if there is going to be if you do not like it and you don't want it, but
Tough.
but also maybe get involved yourself, and boots to the ground, man. That's a
If you don't like the mural when it goes up, then lobby to be part of the next one.
Yeah. Also, when's the last time you visited the beautiful sculptures that the art fair committee back in the day put on had commissioned at the BASF park?
Yeah.
Those were done with the funds of the art fair funds. Art fair, right? Let's get some art, public art. And what do? They push it in the park. You know, there needs to be some more public. You know, the enjoyment of life. You know, everything. You know, is not just about money and partying and look at my car. It's enjoyment. You know, we want people to come down here and enjoy themselves. Obviously, you know, we're too bunch of silly boys not from here who are doing it to for the most part talk about art in somewhat of a knowledgeable manner.
Well,
but also we're just here having fun. Like this is we're doing an art thing too. This is like a kind of an art. Whatever, you know, don't take it seriously. Don't.
This
take
is
it
like
seriously.
performance art.
This is our performance art piece, and you know, but I welcome I welcome the criticism. I think criticism is good, but also who are you to criticize?
Criticism's good when it's done not just because you didn't get what you wanted.
The if the olive oil guy gets in the art fair before a mediocre painter, that is a problem. If
The olive oil guy.
if the guy making olive oil, which I'm sure it's phenomenal olive oil, Tony.
There's a guy selling olive oil, homemade olive oil at the art fair?
I'm sure probably other someone doing something else
Well,
too.
only
that,
for the fact that I like
herb-
olive oil. And
I love
if
herbs.
it's
and spices.
homemade olive oil, I'd like
Herbs,
to try it.
It's good, yeah, great. But for an art fair, art needs to have
An art fair should have more art and less olive
art.
oil.
And people making a stink about there wasn't that much art. Well, okay, first of all, when is the last time you went to the art fair and purchased a piece of art from an artist? Why would an artist want to show up every year?
If they were selling stuff.
If they're selling stuff, they're going to come to Wyandotte. So, come show your support. It's the second largest art fair
In the state.
in the state in Michigan. Yeah. So, is it the best? It's an art. It's great. It's a street art fair.
a good time.
It's a good time. Good.
Get to roam around the streets, eat a corn dog, a funnel
That's
cake,
right.
look at art,
Yeah.
maybe buy something.
Go see the band that does Take On Me 80s music and stuff like that. That's gonna be a good time.
Anyway, back to MTV.
Back to MTV.
So the woman who you thought at the beginning was going to win won.
Right.
She didn't need the exhibit. She was doing well enough on her own.
And it was at the major modern art contemporary museum.
It's at
in Washington D.C. at part of the Smithsonian group.
God darn. The hell's the name of it?
Let's see. What can I say that would get us in trouble while you're scrolling?
While I'm scrolling, yeah.
I don't want to swear, but so is that true with that T-shirt? Did you find love after you were vaccinated? No. You're single and ready to mingle?
Yeah.
We're gonna put that out for
Hirschhorn Gallery.
Museum. Hirschhorn Museum. We're gonna find our boy a nice date after this this show.
Maybe we'll do a good guy's dating game.
We are gonna do a good guys dating game. Send us So we got two projects going on now. You're gonna send us
your refurbished junk.
Yeah, we're gonna share it.
And,
we're gonna share
and let
it.
us know if you want to be on a dating
And a
game.
dating game. This is what the Gooder Guys is all about. Hashtag hands a lot of soups. So yeah, but it was a good. I think it was a good experiment, and
The MTV show.
But the critics are I don't know, whatever.
I think it's only six episodes.
You
could find it for free on their app, the streaming service.
What
if you're inclined, go watch it. You're gonna dedicate 5.5 hours of your life to it.
Yeah, it's fun. Make it a drinking game or something, or not a drinking game, whatever you want to do.
It's more fun if you make it a drinking game. Everything's more fun if you make it a drinking game.
But what I've also, what I've noticed is representational art, or the finer art, the more realistic art is becoming more popular, which is very cool to see.
Realistic in what way?
In terms of like scenes, even the impressionists, like that style of modern art, impression, classic based. where it's like an image of a scene, not just like
Making it more photorealistic.
a little more photorealistic, but also impressionism as well.
Okay.
The idea of it. It's good painting, good shadow. It's becoming popular again. But still, it's like that whole. I mean, really, the abstract expressionists of the '50s, like the post-war stuff. The they talk about that. They talk about how the CIA actually. What is there's a story about the CIA to sort of beat out the Europeans and say like we have better art, like staged a show. And this is all hearsay, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is all a conspiracy, I suppose.
Okay, an art conspiracy.
Which made the they put on shows in Europe, guess making American artists better, but there was a lot of European based artists living in moved to New York and stuff and were doing a thing. So that's where that's like where a lot of that sort of the contemporary that abstract expressionist art went to, even though there was abstract happening during the times of in the modern time, or the modern time period, which I believe ended in the 50s, and then sort of the contemporary art started after mid 50s. So I'm sorry, are we is this
There's a while you were talking, I found a article
yes,
entitled "Modern Art Was CIA Weapon."
there we go.
How the spy agency used unwitting artists such as Pollock and de Kooning in a cultural Cold War.
There you go.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's. I guess that'll be our next show. Maybe now we have something. That's great. So yeah. So who's is this a reliable source?
This is from
The Inquirer or the Sun?
From the Independent,
Okay.
the U.S. edition.
Oh, excuse me. Well, we'll have to. Well, that'll be.
Well, you know what? I'm going to bookmark this page.
That'll be a good topic.
And we will have to research this for.
Well, I'm
for
not
future considerations.
always talking out of my tuchus, Tony. But speaking of contemporary art, let's go to the next. Let's move on to the next subject, in terms of the guy that. What you want to talk about the guy that came out as saying that he was involved. With
Okay. So Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Joel, there you go. Look at
There you
that. Joel's
go.
right on the money there.
Hey, Jean-Michel Basquiat.
So this young go-getter was big in the art scene in the 80s.
That's right. Yep.
He's dead now.
All right.
So pull one out for
R.I.P.,
poor old
man.
Jean-Michel.
Yeah.
But he was pretty popular back in the day. And he did have a lot of success while he was alive,
He did well. I mean,
which a lot of artists do not.
I mean, like
do
dating,
not get
like dating Madonna.
dating. Yeah, he had success with his art career. though
okay.
I was talking about.
Yeah, sure. If you
I wasn't
think
talking
that's-
about dating Madonna.
Sure. No, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did quite well. And became friends with Andy Warhol. But he would say, as a young, successful, attractive, talented artist would do, be taken advantage of by multiple.
Oh, I'm sure he was taken advantage of
Galleries
by
and stuff
gallery
like that.
owners and the like.
They would say that he would, he would be given a residency somewhere. They'd throw him in the studio and give him all the lavishes of life that he would want. From the powders to the women and probably the men. I don't know, but he would read books. He would listen to music, and he would paint all simultaneously at just sort of crazy. And he's got a lot of copycats these days. I mean, tons of copycatters. If you ever see someone doing a poor illustration, you'll with a word next to it. That's really,
Joel, if you could throw up that one image that I have. There you go.
There you go. Now
That's an example of his painting.
Yeah.
Painting style.
And you'll definitely see you'll definitely see people mimicking that. And the thing is with this, now people are going to be like, wow, geez, that's garbage. My cousin, blah, 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 could do that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
It's really no different than looking at a Jackson Pollock,
Right.
who just drizzled paint all over a canvas.
Right.
You know,
But there was,
this guy was the first guy to do what he did.
there's
which made him
intention.
unique.
There's intention to it.
He also was known to mix text on his paintings
Right.
and poetry. Different. He'd have different writings and stuff.
Different ideas, but yeah, it's a good example of an expressive contemporary piece.
I don't hate this piece either.
No, it's good. It's got a lot of work to it. It's got sometimes you can spot a little too much paint, get a little too muddy. But I'm sure this piece is on a coffee cup somewhere, probably on a T-shirt,
Right.
In fact, if you're really interested, real close, you and I have been there, the Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
the Warhol Museum.
Yeah.
You can see those some of his pieces that he also collaborated with Warhol, and that last show right before who died first? Was it Basquiat or Warhol?
I think Basquiat died
Basquiat
first.
died first. That was apparently not a very successful show with Warhol and Basquiat for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't care. But
I wasn't making any money off of it. So
I mean, what are you gonna
who
do?
cares?
Hey, why are you gonna wait? What are we doing here? So yeah, man, it is again. It is. The art world is a wild, weird place.
It's like the Wild West sometimes.
It's like the Wild West, but also it's like like a covered fortress of solitude where you can't go in. You have to be quiet and under your best behavior. You can't even chew gum sometimes, So
Well, they are big on making themselves to be very elitist.
and saying what is the good stuff, what's like even if you like Marcel Duchamp, who's people who even was a step, who was part of the whole modern scene. The famous fountain, the Armat toilet urinal that he took to the that we've talked about before in past shows. With his ready-mades.
Now, his ready-mades were simply just found objects
Right.
that he signed his name to.
Like
The urinal that he just signed.
was though he said
he painted
Armat,
his signature on it,
he
or
said
Armat,
Armat.
And he
But those were
called that a
called
piece of artwork.
those were the ready-mades, and then he would say that.
Well, he gave it a good name.
Well, but he
But all he did was find something and sign his name to it.
But that's what he's saying. He's saying, Tony, if you would have used a microphone, you would have taken that microphone and been like, put it in a museum, with a beautiful space, white walls, and the microphone would have been there, and people are just looking at the microphone. Dude, for sure, if the space is made really well, and there's a microphone in the middle of the floor, you're gonna have a bunch of dum-dums coming and like.
Well, it's
"Those
happened
guys are
where some gentleman in a museum left his glasses on the floor,
Yes.
and people came and started taking pictures of it, thinking it was artwork.
Right, like wow.
'Cause people are boobs, and the art world is full of phonies.
But it's also what's the intention as well. That's true, but also, the whole thing of Duchamp was doing cubism and like the descending the staircase. He entered that into a show, and it was Nude Descending a Staircase, I think, was the piece, and they didn't like it because of the nudity or something. There's something wrong with the piece. They didn't like it. They didn't want it in.
It was different than the pieces he had done previously.
Right. So then he was like, "Well, screw you guys," and that was his sort of combativeness with the ready-mades. And then he elevated himself to do, cooler, weirder stuff. And I think sometimes too, if you've got if you want to, sometimes when you've got a big idea, it's sometimes it's just good just to say yes. Would you rather me hear the whole explanation, or would you rather me just say yes sometimes? You know?
Yeah.
Right. So
back to Basquiat. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We go on these crazy tangents and we
but
lose
that
our
hasn't been
point.
that funny. Let's be honest. That has been more like.
So anyway, this gallery in was it in Florida or let me see.
Orlando.
Yeah, it was an Orlando Museum of Art. There was a show called Heroes and Monsters,
That's right.
which featured all new, recently discovered pieces by Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Right.
And people were oohing and ahhing over this, and it was raided by the FBI, and everything was confiscated. And it turns out that an auctioneer from Los Angeles had forged the pieces and fabricated a story that they were found in a storage locker. And
If he would have just used an older FedEx box.
yeah, they discovered it because some of the pieces were painted on FedEx boxes that were printed after Basquiat died.
Like in '93 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
so it had different logos.
How did he die?
Drug overdose, I think.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. He didn't meet you. That's the problem. That's the problem. He didn't meet you. If he would have met you, he had a reason to live.
I'm sure he would have.
Chucky, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. We don't have any sound stuff, do we?
You know what? I gotta look for a soundboard for next time.
Yeah, no, yeah. So like, yeah, that's but man, a broken heart too, man. You know, he was really Jean-Michel Basquiat was really, it's really sad. Sad story, man. I mean, to have this, it shows you, give you all the money, all the great successes, and happiness is.
Happiness isn't always,
not always there.
found in the bottom of a bottle of pills.
But or it's not found in a huge bank account, or all the whatever you want, or all the all the stuff,
All the stuff.
Happiness.
Happiness comes from within.
But also, my recent discovery is that happiness is also a byproduct of life. It's not. I don't think the goal is the happiness. The happiness is the byproduct of doing
Doing what you enjoy.
of doing life. So, I will be joining a nunnery next week. I don't know. Do you think what? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's been other silly shows like ours, sort of like
I'm sure there's been lots of shows like ours.
Okay. All right.
Let's
How
see-
are we
let's see
doing
if
on
this
time there,
works. Hold
Chucky?
on.
Are we doing on time? Yeah, about 5 minutes left.
5 minutes
All right.
left.
Let's
Tony.
see. Let's see if the speaker can pick this up. The microphone can pick this up.
Yeah.
All right. I found a soundboard. I just got to find applause now.
Okay. All right. So, in closing,
Yes.
fix your old stuff and make it nice,
Right.
and take care of the old stuff. Don't just throw the old stuff away like whatever.
Unless it's people.
Well, yeah. Get rid of those toxic relationships. Sometimes your friends aren't your friends. Let's see. The other one was.
If you want to be part of the dating game,
If you like to be on the
on a good guy's dating
if you'd like to
game,
be on the show and be one of the contestants of the dating game, please go ahead and message us. Tony's gonna give the information afterwards. Send us your stuff, your images of anything you've ever fixed in life that you've rejuvenated, you brought back to life. See the exhibit maybe if you care, if you want to. Because you're not going to see any more music videos.
yeah, right.
Maybe. What else was there?
And if you're a local artist and you have a piece of artwork that you're particularly proud of,
Yeah.
and you'd like us to show it on the show,
Yeah.
send us an image and
And maybe
We'll
you'll
splash it on the TV.
Maybe you'll get to be a guest.
maybe you'll get to be a guest.
Maybe you'll get to keep up with whatever this is.
Right.
Um.
With this hot mess.
Well, I mean, why?
Lukewarm mess.
Why is the mess always hot, Tony?
I don't know.
What happened if it was a cold mess? Oh, that sounds nasty. Actually, a cold mess. Ooh, cold mess. That's like kind of dirty. A
Cold mess.
cold mess. Like, there's the hot mess. Like everyone knows what you're talking about. You know? Oh, this is a hot mess over there. You know, it's like okay, problematic, but a cold mess. That's like a cold mess over here. Did you get the facial expressions in that one, Joel? Okay. Well, I guess.
Should we wrap it up?
Let's just wrap it up, Tony.
All right.
Well,
You
let
can
'em
find
know.
us on Facebook and Instagram at Good Guys Radio.
Lovely. That's great.
That Basquiat's eyes. He's staring at us.
These eyes are crying.
Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram, Good Guys Radio. Email us at goodguysradio@gmail.com with any questions or comments about the show. We would love to hear from you.
And in these dangerous times of danger.
Dangerous
Well, I
times
mean,
of
let's-
danger.
It's not so bad. Life's short. Let's take some risks. You know, let's take a few risks and just see what happens. You know, things can be changed, things can be done. It's just money's whatever. You know, just enjoy yourself because we're probably gonna die.
Soon.
We are gonna die.
We are going to die.
Everyone's
Some
gonna
of us sooner than
die.
others.
And you know what? That's okay. I've come here to do my best. That I think I know how I can do. And
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
hope
we
you do,
apologize
too.
for this
I
episode.
We don't apologize. There's no apologies necessary because we love you.
And we thank you for wasting the last hour of your life with us.
These eyes are roll credits.